Oh, you ready?
I'm ready.
Hey, man, Miller, Free Minds. Listen, man, we are here inside Brother Carlos Spivey's laboratory, man. This laboratory has a lot of great history, and I'm appreciative to be here, man. We done brought the power circle right to the lab, man. And without further ado, man, if you want to just look around just for a second, man, I don't even know how to introduce all this, man. Come on. We got beautiful mosaics, you know. How you feeling over there?
I'm feeling pretty good. How you guys doing?
Good. Good.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
man.
my humble abode.
Man, so how did we end up here, man? What's going on? Talk to me.
Well, just a little history about the house. My mother died in '94, and she left me this house. I was 36 years old.
Okay.
When I got it, one of the reasons I kept the house was it kept me close to my mom. Losing your mother, you know, at an early age like that was an impact on me, and I wanted to honor her.
Yeah.
And I raised my kids in this house. I was raised in this house, so, and you know, I got a grandson now, so we're like 4 generations.
Right here.
Right in one place.
Right here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Man,
And,
LA is a beautiful place too.
And so, you know, it's become an art haven. So a lot of times, some of the things that my mom had that I don't have anymore. I mean, if she came back, she'd probably tell me, "Boy, you get all this stuff out the living room.
At the living room.
Where my couches? Where my couch at? And my chandelier?
Right.
You know.
What is you doing? Take this somewhere else.
Yeah, I got some heirlooms like my grandmother,
Oh wow.
Nana, her son, which was my uncle, went to Ghana in the 50s as an electrical engineer. So these weights he gave to her, these weights are probably almost, 70, 80 years old. They're called weights, they're gold weights. So what they used to do is put these on the scale, and that would say how much the gold dust was weighing.
This right here?
Yeah, these are gold weights. That's what they're called. So, you know, you'd have a scale, you put one over here, and then people put their gold over here, and they can weigh it and be like, oh, we're going to need 2 of these. Oh, shoot, we're going to need 5 of them. So that would tell the value of the gold.
In the 50s?
Yeah, that's when those were purchased.
Oh, wow. And that's Ghana.
Yeah, I was in Ghana.
Did you ever go to Mali?
I've never been to Mali. I've just been to Ghana. I had a little layover in Nigeria and one in Côte d'Ivoire, but mainly I've been to Ghana lots of times. I got family.
You ever seen them making shea butter?
I never seen them make shea butter not in Ghana.
What? See.
A lot of that stuff is like, it's not touristy, so you have to know somebody who knows somebody, then they bring you. Because, you know, they make the glass beads and they, you know, like even the gold and the old lost wax process of mold making and stuff that came from Africa.
Nice.
But to find out all of that, you got to know somebody to tell you where to
Yeah.
go and all that good stuff like that.
So when was your first time in Africa?
1989. I did an abroad program at the University of Ghana.
That's 35 years ago.
I studied film at NAFG. They put me in the performing arts major. I was able to work as an acrobatic instructor with the Ghana Dance Ensemble, which is their national ballet. And when, I can't remember the name of this gentleman, when Angola gained their freedom, Flight Lieutenant Rollins was in power at the time, and they had this great big event and at the Coliseum, and I got to perform in front of people like Flight Lieutenant Rollins and the president of Namibia. Forgive me for not remembering his name at the time. So that was quite an honor for me to do that.
That's crazy. So what do you think, like, if you see Ghana now, like, what's the biggest change from then?
Ghana is very progressive. It's just like the infrastructure is so built up. Just seeing all these skyscrapers going up, seeing black people being empowered, being employed, working, building their own country. it's just it's overwhelming. And then the billboards, they discourage putting a bunch of European faces. So whatever you see, when you see the billboard boards and you see the models and all that, they all black. They had one billboard with this woman shopping and she was barefoot. She was like, "Hey," I was like, "Man, I took pictures of the billboards just because it was just so cool just to see, you know,
A barefoot shopper.
yeah, an optometrist business, and they got two little black kids, Ghanaians,
Right.
with different kinds of glasses on, and just
Right.
you know, dispelling all of these myths about how primitive Africa is. And when you're there and you see it, and you just think, too bad, a lot of people ain't never coming over here because they just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody don't need to go to Africa.
So okay, I understand what you're saying. So like, as an artist, you deal with that too, huh?
Yeah.
You know.
If you look at my art is to celebrate African Americans and Africans of the diaspora. I grew up, when I was a child, I looked at a lot of Shirley Temple movies, a lot of Tarzan movies. Everything was kind of like on a level of degradation for African Americans, or Negroes, which we was called back then. And then we went to Black Americans. And it really affected me. In fact, when I was a little boy, I wanted to be white. Do you know that? I wanted to be like the Beatles. I made a wish on a star, saw a falling star one night. I was like, oh God, please make my hair straight.
Where you
Make
learn
my
that
skin
at?
white. I've just always been heavily influenced by the media. That's why I have a MFA in film animation from UCLA. So
Wow.
I had to struggle with that in terms of understanding thematic concepts and stories, and how film can be used as a propaganda mechanism. And as a result of understanding that, it made me know more, or search out who I am as an African, and to find out what my origins were and are. So
That's
that
interesting.
that helped me be better with understanding myself and being proud of myself. Because when you got to find out real stuff, like Ethiopia defeated the Italians in 1899. You know, that's a European power country. They pretty much got their butts whooped. But for me to know that, it was like, you can defeat the imperial power.
Right.
And until I found out about it, I was, you know, having a lot of doubts. It's like I wanted to go live with Leave It to Beaver and what's his name? I can't remember. Ricky Nelson, the Nelsons. I used to love watching them because he had that cool garage, right?
Right.
Had a nice car in there. Ricky Nelson's a guitar player.
You know I
And
wasn't
then
born though. You
Yeah.
know.
But they
Like,
had it
I'm
all.
like, you know.
I mean, they would be like,
What?
They'd be like, hey, Ricky, come on, let's go to the malt shop. They go to the malt shop, all their friends is there. You know, they doing the sock hop and everything.
Right.
And he knows the owner. And it's like, I want to live in a place like that where we have our own community, where we got our own restaurants, we have our own area. Anybody can come,
Yeah.
but I want my own.
What you feel
restaurant.
about Leimert Park?
I feel that Leimert Park is challenged with gentrification. I feel that we're like nomads. We're always like, when we think we got us a spot, we don't really have the spot we thought we had. So I'm not saying that it's not anything wrong with everybody being able to have their own community
Right.
and to share. But I just want to know where all of the black people that used to live in LA, where did they go?
Where did they go?
You know, I mean, I'm here. I've been here since the 59. I was born in 58, excuse me. My father was born here in like 1923. My mother was born here in 1927.
In Los Angeles?
In Los Angeles.
1927.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so my father's grandfather came here in 1895, lived in Pasadena. We're a historic black community that we know that just recently caught on fire, Altadena. And, you know, I just forgot, somehow I just skipped my mind that is a historic black community. It's been around since the probably 1850s, 1860s.
I know. Listen, when I first, so like when I saw the Temptations movie, I thought when they moved to California, they lived in Pasadena. Like when I first got it, the houses looked like in the movie looked just like Pasadena to me, you know. So I realized that most houses around at that time probably look the same because they look the same kind of over here too. Like it's a lot.
They do a lot of like what you call Spanish architecture.
Spanish, that's what it is.
Which is really Moorish architecture.
Oh, right.
Speak on that for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. Moors conquered Spain for over 750 years. The date 711. So that's why 711 means something.
7-Eleven.
711.
What does that mean?
That's 711 AD is when the Moors first conquered Spain. And they stayed in Spain until they were conquered in 1491. A year later, Columbus sails to America. Wonder where he got that information from. Mooring a boat comes from the Moors.
Wow.
Black Moors. So I can say this, since we're talking about the Moors, if you look at these mosaics, okay, if we know anything about Moorish influence in Spain, some of their greatest churches used to be mosques that got converted to Christianity.
Right.
So because most of the Moors were Muslims, not all of them, and they tolerated all religions, they have to wash their feet, their hands, and they had to pray several times a day. So they had to build fountains. Europe wasn't really into bathing a lot. Europeans weren't bathing at that time a lot. So they had to create these fountains, which means they had to create ceramics. They had to know how to, the right clay body, the right temperature, and the glazes. And so when I started, I knew nothing about glazes and clay bodies. So what it's telling me is as I make these mosaics,
give us a tour,
it was like a time warp. It took me back to the time of the Moors, and I became really curious about what is tile. And when we go into my studio, you'll see what tile is, because I have a kiln now, and I can make my own tile.
Look at it. So hold on. So did you make these?
No, I didn't make these tile. These tile are like swimming pool tile, regular tile that you might use in your bathroom and stuff. But as an artist and me being able to illustrate, I try to paint with the tile. You got to revisit the Moors. And that's what it did. It took me back to a place that I didn't know anything about. And it also talked to me about the archways and these Spanish houses. And you have these arches. That comes from the Moors, because, they had them
that's how they did all their building.
And then the clay roofs, the tile roofs and stuff like that.
Right, I see that.
There you go. In a lot of mediums. Here's a stained glass piece that I did with this nice drum.
Man, look
I work in stained glass. I work in quilts. I did bring a quilt out.
Yeah, this
is a work in progress. It's a mermaid that I'm doing. So these are like the strips.
Remember?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was painting it.
Man, look at that.
So I got another one. If I can find it, it's just like you've seen this one. This is I'm just gonna plop them all out here. This is another quilt.
Yeah. This one, man. I love this one, man. Look at that.
And I'm trying to find my mermaid quilt that I have.
Look at that, man.
Let's see. Mermaid. Where's my mermaid quilts?
Look at this one too. He always put like little finds in there. You see what I'm saying? You see this over here? You got the couple, you know what I mean? They got a couple's portrait. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
What's the name of this one?
I think I'm trying to remember what the name of that. Oh, it's just called Guitar Man.
Guitar Man. Look at that pimp. Ooh, pimp
but
purple.
At the same time, I wanted to say, because he's got the blues. Why does he have the blues? You see this guy up here and this woman?
Uh-huh.
This guy, his name is Jody.
Okay,
Do
Jody.
you know that song by Bobby Womack?
How-
No, by Johnny Taylor. Ain't no sense in going home. Ain't no sense in going home. Jody got your gal and gone. So
No, I
that's
don't
why
know
he
that
got
song.
the blues. Because Jody done got his girl.
Jody got his girl.
Yeah.
No, I noticed back in those times, there's a lot of music of somebody taking
Right,
girl.
right.
Yeah, the
Taking
blues.
girls like that.
Man,
The blues, man.
Muddy Waters. That's what he did.
And Howlin' Wolf. I was just looking at Howlin' Wolf.
What, Smokestacks?
Smokestack Cadillac.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. Now, mermaids around here somewhere.
So talk to us about the art.
Like I said, it was almost like therapy. I needed to start creating images of dignity that made me feel proud about being a black man and to make other black men and black women feel good about who they were. And I wanted to celebrate our curves, our beauty, our skin color, our noses, our lips,
Yeah.
and our history, our culture, our religious spirituality. So I do a lot of things that are images that, I mean, you can always see images of social, economic, and political inequities happening to us. But what we don't always see is ourselves rising and being celebrated. I do black angels as well.
Yeah.
But did
Black
that come-
butterflies.
Did that come first, or did you like do art as a kid and then just start making?
Well, you know, when I was a kid, everybody drew because you didn't have no computers and stuff. You know, we'd make up all kind of little stupid games to do. You know, we play hide and seek.
Yeah.
We'd throw rocks at cars and then run and hide. You know,
Yeah.
and we would hop fences and eat people's fruit off their fruit trees. That was real exciting because you could get caught. You know, it's like, oh. And then some people put fake poison signs up there, and we like, they ain't poison that. They just say that so we won't come over here. Come on, let's go get some of them apricots. And we knew which trees was blooming at the right time. It's like, oh, so-and-so with the peach tree, let's go over there today because I know them peaches is ready.
Man.
So there's a little thing.
You grew up right here in LA doing that.
Yeah, I grew up. I remember when the Crips were born. I remember Tookie. I remember all of them things, you know.
Dang.
My high school that I went to Washington High School.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, we had one Asian, a Chinese guy, or we had one Mexican guy, and that was it. Everybody else was black.
At Washington High.
At the school I went to.
Man. What come on, man, cause you see the arms, man. Y'all see he be working out, man. At his age and forever, man. I know this guy gonna stay in shape, man.
Y'all in the Crips.
Man, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Forever.
tell me what sports did you play, man? I know you played some sport in high school.
Well, the history, I guess a lot of people weren't aware of it because they know I'm a West African folklore dancer, acrobat. But I got a full scholarship from Washington High School to go to UCLA. I was recruited by Art Sherlock, the head coach, and gave me a full ride. The way it happened was I didn't know I was going to go to UCLA, so I had actually prepared myself. I wanted to go to college. I filled out the college applications and everything. Right. I got accepted to Cal Poly Pomona to study veterinary medicine, and I was going to minor in music because I play the trumpet. But then I got a phone call, and Art was like, "Hey, Carlos, come on over here. I got a scholarship for you." That's me doing my imitation of Art. And I was like, all bets was off. I never even went to Cal Poly Pomona for the orientation. They had a dorm room for me and everything. It's like once they said UCLA, I was like, I'm gone. I'm over there. I'm over there.
So
having a great life.
What was the climate like? What was the climate like at UCLA when you first got there?
When I first got there, it's probably one of the largest contingents of black students ever on the campus when I was there. So it was sort of like the BSU. It was on and popping. The first time I saw a black guy that was brought up only around white people, and he talked just like a white guy, and I was like, dang, I didn't know black people could talk like that. Because that's how I used to talk back then. You know, I was like, yeah, well. And I remember when my teammates, of course, were all white, and they would like look out for me, and we would go. Sometimes we would ride to events together,
Right.
and I didn't know that my slang or my dialect was like a dialect. I thought everybody talked to that. And one day we was, gonna go and have some pizza. I was like, I got to have me some pizza. And the white guys was like, next thing I know, this dude was giving me the ride. He's like, I got to get me something to eat.
That was his first time saying "Gosta."
Yeah. So it was
Hey,
like really a great experience.
See, you probably never taught him nothing like show whiz.
Yeah, show is what that is.
What that is? What that is right
I'm
now?
trying to find a nice female.
I see you still looking, man. He
Oh.
got a lot of beautiful stuff, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Brother Carlos has invited me into his space, man. I really appreciate him because he's taught me a lot of stuff, man. Like that's just a few of the accolades that he's just sharing with us, man. Because
Wait, hold on.
he done told me about a lot of different stuff that he done did as working in the film and television industry in Hollywood, from UCLA, all the different awards, I don't know. He got to tell us about the Olympics. We're going to ask him about the Olympics, man. Yeah, that's the next question we're going to ask him, man, Brother Carlos. All right, look at this mosaic right here, man. He put the earrings in there. Like, come on, man. She look nice. She ain't even bow-legged.
Okay,
She's not even bothered.
She not even bow-legged.
Yeah.
What you got, man?
this is another. It's a mermaid. So I'm on a mermaid kick.
Where that come from, man? The mermaids?
Mami Wate. It's a deity called Mami Wate in Ghana, and she's a mermaid. So when the Little Mermaid came out and they cast a black woman to play the mermaid, a lot of people were upset. It's like, you can't have no black mermaids. How's there gonna be a black mermaid? Maybe there are mermaids, maybe they aren't, but why can't they be black? So when I was in Ghana, I met some young boys in Cape Coast, Elmina. And I asked him about that, and I don't know if he's telling the truth. And I was like, "Oh, I have seen the mermaids." He's like right over there. He pointed because I was right by the water. He's like, right over there. I saw the mermaids. I'm like, for real? I was like, can I get you on film? So I got him saying that. I just haven't edited it. And he said there's a white ones, the black ones, and all different colors.
Mermaids?
That's what he told me.
Man.
And so I wanted to do my own mermaid.
They did.
So
they
that's
told
why
me
I
the
did
same
it.
thing in Freetown.
Wow.
So they didn't tell me the name of it, or anything.
I used to hang out a lot in Timor Harbor, and they have like certain rites of passages for young girls before they reach puberty.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, it's like it was a Mami Walter kind of deity, because this girl, she had like, I don't know, they used purple like eyeshadow on them and
Right.
gold glitter.
Right.
And she walking, and she got a fish on top of her head that's made out of wood.
Wow.
And she had on blue, is really beautiful, and she had a whole entourage behind her.
Wow.
And they're like, boom, boom, boom. And it's just really beautiful. I'm still over jubilant about.
Look at this, man. He put the water droplets in there.
And speaking of water, you have another relationship with water too, right?
Yeah, I'm a scuba diver.
Okay, where'd that come from?
How'd that happen?
That happened in LA.
Okay, let's talk about
Right, man.
let's talk about Eugene Blunt, Jamie Brown, Brother Tunde, and myself. We all made a pact. We were all gonna get certified so that we could like charter boats and go and hit the water. So they all got certified before me.
Okay.
And then I got certified, but I always loved the water. And I just kind of got tired of just swimming in the pool, imagining what it would be like to be in the ocean swimming.
Right.
And so I started snorkeling a little bit, got my certification, met up with a dive club called La Bouille. La Bouille, I met Bob Simmons, Richard Rice, Don Acosta later, and it was really a beautiful thing to be able to be in the presence of all of these black folks that love water, professionals, very well organized. They charter trips every year to exotic places all over the world. And I've had the privilege to go to the Philippines. And last year I went to Thailand. I took my oldest daughter with me, went to Breeze. And we just had a ball seeing all kinds of beautiful things under the water.
What's the biggest fish you seen in person? That was like, whoa! Like,
Right out here in Palos Verdes at I forget what it's Malaga Cove. You know they have black bass. They can get up to like 500 pounds, 600, 700 pounds.
Man.
And they're about this long. So one day, I'm doing
That's
what
a
you're
calico
not supposed
bass?
to do. I went diving by myself. You're not supposed to do. You get in a lot of trouble because a whale could just come and eat you and nobody know what happened to you. But I was only in 15, 20 feet of water. And so I see this, and they're basically groppers, black bass and groupers. Somehow they're related. But he looked like a black person that got changed into a fish. Because he got these big old lips, and I just imagine if you put an afro on him. So anyway, I'm swimming, and all of a sudden I see this big old fish coming, and he's so big he ain't scared of nothing. He's just like a brother, just like he's swimming. He got these little white dots on him, and he see me, and he's like, "Hey, what up?" And he just kept swimming. So that's probably one of the biggest fish. Biggest shark I saw was probably when I went to Belize. I dove the Blue Hole. I saw they were black tips.
Right.
Whole school of them. It's a tourist attraction. So a boat was leaving, was taking off. I was with another boat.
Okay.
And they had chum. Chum is that stuff they throw in the water to attract sharks.
Right.
So when they were leaving, they had extra chum. They just threw it overboard. And all of a sudden, about 10 sharks showed up. And each one was about 10 to 12 feet long.
Oh, man, that's long.
And they just, sharks are pretty intelligent animals. And just to see a live shark in their eyes, and they're swimming by you, and they're like, they kind of swimming, they're like, they're looking at you.
Yeah.
But they know that that's a place where they can come and eat. And so they're smart.
Kind of cool.
It's probably going to be an adolescent shark that's going to mess with you. Because the grown-ups, they're like, man, we got a schedule. We come here 2 o'clock every day. They feed us.
Right.
And we go home. We come back. Yeah. So they didn't bother us. They just did what they did. But my dive master, his name was Carlos also. And he was just chilled. He was perfect buoyancy. He was in the water like that. And I said, well, if he's cool, I'm just going to be cool. Because if you panic, that's going to attract a shark or predator because the thrashing and all of this stuff, it makes you look like an injured animal. And that's what they're going to go after, the injured and the sick. And you got to be cool. It's like if you're walking down the street and you see a dog, if you run, he's probably going to chase you. Or if you get all scared, he might feel like he has an advantage. So you have to kind of stand your ground and say, hey, dog, I see you. Right. And then he'll think about it. So same with sharks.
Here's a moment, because I know that's probably when you first started. But what was the scariest moment you remember having scuba diving?
No, hold on. Not scuba diving. I'm going to interrupt this one. Tell me your scariest story working in Hollywood diving.
I worked on the Amistad, and I have children, and they were children, and I'm thinking about the adjustment, because when you do stunt work, you get a daily rate, which back then was about $700 a day. Then you get adjustments, and so Spielberg's the director. Alan Alani is the stunt coordinator. He picked me, and I was just practicing, getting all my chops up, holding my breath, and taking off the belt, the chains, because we were chained, and you got to go under the water, and you had to remove the belt, and the chain is on a pulley. So if you don't take that chain off of you, it's going to pull you down and down and down. And so they have safety divers under the water, right? And you don't see them. So what happens is they throw us in the water like we're dead slaves or whatever, and then, or we're the injured slaves. And then once we go up under, we have to stay under until we hear somebody go, cut! That's Spielberg, cut!
That long scene when I was
so you got to be under the water holding your breath till he say cut. So what was scary about this was every time they threw you in the water, that's $5,000, right?
Okay.
So I did it once. We come up, a couple of people was a little shook because the water was really cold.
Right. How
A
far
couple
did
of
you go
people
down?
went down 10, maybe up to 30 feet, but we didn't go that deep because I was unfastening my stuff. I would practice. Right. I would go to the swimming pool to practice. I'd have my arms tied and my legs tied.
Right.
And I'd jump in the water and then I'd have to untie myself to come up. So I would be ready. So the thing is, some people after 2 dives, they was cool, but after the 3rd dive, some people was like, I'm no more. I can't do it no more.
Right.
4th dive, more people dropped out. Me, I did it. I did 1, then I did it 2, then I did a 3rd one, then I did a 4th one, I did a 5th one. I think they threw me in the water like 7 times.
Oh, cleaned up. He cleaned up.
Right.
Yeah.
Mind you, he
And
was
one
there
day-
with Spielberg getting dunked in the water, man.
And one day I made
35K. Right?
Yeah, I made 35,000 in one day because it was like every time he's like, anybody want to go in? I was like, that's me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going. And then the next thing I know, after it's all over and we're up and we're trying to dry off, I had hypothermia really bad and I didn't know it. So a guy was like, man, how'd that feel and everything? I was like, yeah, that was great. I just started convulsing almost because my body was that cold. I was just like, oh.
Dang.
So that was a little scary.
That's still scary. I'm like, so what did you do? Like, how did it save you?
Your body got to warm up. You got to, when you get hypothermia, your body starts to tremble to heat your body up.
Oh,
so that's what happens. And if you don't have a lot of fat on your body,
Yeah.
you're gonna get hypothermia more. So divers that are overweight, got a little blubber on them, actually do better in the water.
Okay.
So that's something to know. Plus, you're more buoyant.
Yeah, man. I didn't know that. So fat people. Well, maybe I shouldn't call them fat, but people like me, you got a little extra weight.
Yeah, but for me, everybody's got their thing that they're brave about, like flipping in the air and doing multiple flips. Some people be like, man, I couldn't do that. We know what scares me is going to a club at night and somebody walk in like this. That scares me.
Oh yeah, that's
that's scary when people can just be at clubs and they just chilling and you don't know what's going to happen. Who got a switchblade? Who's going to hit somebody in the head with a pool cue and stuff? So sometimes I'd be at a club. I'd be like, you know what? I don't feel really safe in here. I got to go. I'm about to leave. I'd rather be with the sharks sometimes than some of these people at these clubs, man.
Did they ever mess with you like that when you was like in Ghana? Or did you enjoy clubbing? Like, did you enjoy?
No, because my uncle was there, and my uncle was an electrical engineer, and he was very well respected in the community.
Right.
And my family, they don't really go out and do all that back in that time. So I was just trying to be a good boy while I was there. So we would sometimes I would have beer on campus. They would actually serve beer on campus of University of Legon. And
what year you went there?
1989.
Hold on. So you went from UCLA to...
And then, UCLA, I graduated my undergraduate in 81. I went back in like 85, 86 to do my MFA in film animation.
Okay.
So while I'm studying for my graduate program, I did an abroad program, a study abroad program,
Right.
to go to Ghana for 6 months.
Right.
So I attended the University of Ghana for 6 months. So that's how that happened.
Okay. Now, when you was at UCLA, you was there on a scholarship. Now, before you graduated, tell me, did you train for the Olympics or anything?
Yeah, I did. I trained for the Olympics. I'm a 2-time NCAA attendant, meaning I made it to the NCAA finals 2 years in a row.
And what year was that, though?
This was in 1980, first time. The Pac-10, it was called. Now it's the Pac-12.
Okay.
I was selected as Gymnast of the Year by the United States Gymnastics Federation or the Pac-8 crew. they voted me the most improved gymnast. That year I took third in the all around. I'm really proud because the person who was first, Peter Vidmar, second place was Mitch Gaylord, and I was third place. And so all of a sudden that same year I also made the national team. My highest ranking was 11th in the country. And from there, I was able to go to the Olympic trials. But that year, 1980, we went to NCAA finals. Wow. So I went in 1980, and then we went in 1981, and we actually came in third. So when I came to UCLA, we were pretty much last in terms of ranking. Right. We weren't nationally ranked, but by the time I left, we were third in the country. And
quick question on that.
Yeah.
So where did you get to do training for that?
Jumping trees and people fences, getting fruit.
Well, with that, but I mean, you had to.
Well, I was never in a gang, but you would try to dress like you was in a gang, and then people used to walk up to you when I was coming up, and they'd be like, "What set you from?" So I would kind of like.
And at that time?
Yeah, you would kind of look at the person and see what it's like. I think he's a Brim. You'd be like, Brim here, right? He's like, all right, bro, go on. If you see some other dude, he's like, yeah, what set you from? I'm like, cut rip, because this was a Crip area, pretty much.
Okay.
But I was never in the gang, so for me to get safe passage to walk through some tough areas, I used to do like a round off flip flop back. And everybody knew I could flip. They'd be like, go on, do that. I'd go round off flip flop back and land, boom, and keep going.
Dang.
It'd be like,
cause right.
You know what it is with gangsters is like when they see that you're really trying to do something with your life,
right?
They be like, bro, you gonna do that? You don't need to be doing all this over here. You do that, you straight. We gonna watch out for you. Yeah. That's what happens.
That's a message. That's a message right there. Hey man, for the youth that's out here trying to figure out what they need to do. Figure out how to do what you call it, a roundhouse,
a round off flip flop back.
yeah. Learn how to do that, man. Don't everybody trying to hear about your little war stories, man. Get you a roundhouse flip flop back.
Carlos about to teach TK how to do it right now.
Oh yeah, here we
go. No, listen, man. When I go to the gym with Carlos, man, Carlos be in there doing handstands for about 5 minutes straight. I be like, can we do something else? He just stretching. Who stretches on a handstand? Come on, man. This is crazy.
Wow.
What got you? What made you realize? What made you smart enough to know that health is wealth? Like that's something that discipline.
I would say this: when you start studying West African dance, when I started studying, I was one of the original members of Mori Nimba, not the first wave, the second wave. And there was a gentleman named Dadisi Sanyika. And Dadisi Sanyika went to this place called the Aquarian Spiritual Center. It was founded by a man named Dr. Alfred Lagan, who was a porter on the railway system, And what he did with his money is he opened up the first black bookstore. Wow. But he studied, Gnostic studies, occult studies, esoteric astrology, and stuff. And so what was proposed and what was mentioned to me reading some of these books that was in the bibliography, like Stolen Legacy, and we start talking about the Institute, because during Egypt times, before Christ, this was the Institute, the center of learning and universities was in Egypt. That's where you went to get the power. Right. So the thing was, to be holistic. So health comes like this. You got a physical body, you got a mental body, you have an emotional body, you have a spiritual body, you have a soul body. If you simultaneously develop all of those bodies, you get a higher level of consciousness. So part of it is diet, and then each of these different bodies has 7 different factors. So you look at your physical body, you got a skeletal body, you got a neural body, you have a muscular body, you have a circulatory body, you have an organ body, and I know I'm forgetting a couple of them. It's about 2 more.
Right.
So each one needs certain things. The skeletal body needs calcium to stay strong and whatever.
Right, that's
You know,
elements.
to be able to keep your bone density, you need to lift weights. You need to do something to contract and relieve that. For your circulatory body, you need to do cardio to get all of your blood pumping and your heart rate.
Joints.
And joints, your lymphatic system, your organ system. You know, you have to.
Yeah.
You know, you need to know the science of that. So then you need to know what to eat.
Right.
So you can eat bad.
But then you got
Right.
blood types.
Yeah, I'm not really into blood types a lot, but I have certain cravings that I like to eat. I like a lot of tarty, sour tasting foods.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know.
bitters is the best thing for anybody.
Uh-huh.
You know, people don't like bitter foods.
Right.
I have a bitter smoothie in a minute. I put them herbs in it, mix it with the mangoes, and it be ugh. But
Oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, no, man. Listen, this guy can do finger push-ups. Like not finger push-up, finger L sits. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Let's see
man,
what I
like it's
can-
nothing. It's crazy. I'll be like, yo, come on, man. Look at this. He about to figure something out right now.
I can't do it. It's not wide enough.
See?
So he about to balance.
See, he about to, right.
He about to balance
can't.
on the stool on y'all.
You get old. Just do an L.
Oh man.
I can't even lift up.
Yeah, I can't do that with,
Yeah.
with my hands solid.
Man. That's
Okay.
crazy, man.
So you guys, you want to go in the back?
Yeah, man. Give us the tour, man. Let's go.
Well,
What's going, man?
I'm gonna get a flashlight. You can't see that picture, huh?
Oh, this was what you did. Okay, so wait a minute, man. This is the wow. So he has a lot of gift cards, greeting cards in the shop. And so, you know, that was one of the main things that Carlos was like, yo, I got a lot of gift cards, you know, greeting cards and birthday cards. He was like, yo, you want to sell something? I was like, yeah, man, people always asking me about like greeting cards. People want greeting cards. So I was like, man, this is perfect time. He pulled up, man, he had a trunk full of them. So for real, bro, a whole trunk full of them, man. And I was so thankful because he has so many different versions of his art. And they all tell different stories. Like I didn't know about the butterflies, but one of my pictures that I like from Carlos is the what you call it, the honey dip.
Honeydew drop.
The honeydew drop. That's a nice one. You know, he got the honeydew drop. He got a few different ones. You know, the boy drummer. I love that one. He got the lady leaping bounds over water. You know, he got the ones they leaping over mountains. They leaping over waters. Like, you know, the therapy, I guess, that he's going through, that he's giving us is worth it. You know, so I appreciate you, man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So this is for grown folks.
For grown folks.
That's what we looking at. I can see it good. I can see it good.
You got it?
Yeah. I can see it good.
Yeah, he gonna put it in post.
You don't need the light?
Nah,
Oh.
look at that. It's coming through fly.
Oh, wonderful.
Man, this phone thing that he got, man, it's top of the line.
Wow.
Yeah, it's top of the line.
Let's go in the back.
All right.
And
Yeah, let's do that.
story behind this, Bob Simmons, the president of our dive club at the time, commissioned me to do 5 paintings. He was building a house. Of course, it all happened. He called the house the Casablanca up in View Park.
Right.
He was an engineer for the Department of Water and Power. I don't know what type of engineer. I think is more into the construction and building side of it. So he built his own house from the ground up. And he was telling me how he posted, because it was on a hill, that he put cement poles that went all the way down to the bedrock of the mountain,
Wow.
so it wouldn't slide. So I thought that was pretty impressive. So he commissioned me to do 5 paintings because Bob was the consummate bachelor, and he had a big game room. He even had his own theater in there with seats.
Yeah.
He had like 2 or 3 pool tables
In View Park.
in there in View Park. And so he called the room the Burgundy Room. So he had me do these thematic concepts of the Burgundy Room. So he wanted this one, and Bob Simmons is right here. This guy right here, that's Bob. See, you got a lady to the left and a lady to the right. And that's the story behind that picture.
The Burgundy
Bob
Room.
passed away several years ago, and his estate had contacted me to see if I wanted to purchase any of the paintings back. So I actually repurchased this painting. It was the one I was most fond of.
Nice.
So.
For the history, that's nice.
Oh. Okay, that's Polka Dot. Hey, Polka Dot. Say hi.
What's up? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So,
Yeah,
Brother
so
Carlos.
Cleaned up a little today.
Oh, man.
So check out this wisteria.
Yeah, you do got the fruit tree.
You smell it?
What is that? Those oranges?
Those are oranges.
Yep.
They're good. It's sweet. So this is my wisteria plant.
Oh, man. It smells good.
Smells good.
You
Think it'd be
planted it,
nice.
Mom?
Oh, my mom planted this, and we never let it grow out. So I kind of overdone it. Time to cut it. So it was always just like a weed. We thought it was a weed.
Right.
And one day I was like, that's not a weed. That's called wisteria. Oh, okay. If you blooming. And then, one
mosquitoes
year
in
I got one flower. Now I got a whole bunch of them, Take a nice
Yeah.
little photo.
Right.
Oh, that look cool. I like that.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I got my little,
Yeah, you
Kick
kind of
back.
overdone it, though.
oh, look, see, I put my little
Oh,
angels
man.
and butterflies up here.
Yeah. Yo, that's fly, man. The whole concept of black women is butterflies, Because why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not see ourselves doing things?
Yeah. And you got the ability to create it. You ever thought about being in the military?
Being in the military?
Yeah.
Really, I never really wanted to be in the military.
Any
But
of your parents
I'm not
was in it or
against
nothing?
everybody. All my brothers went to the war and came back home.
Man.
My dad was in World War II. My uncle. I'm actually born in 1958, so that year they didn't have a draft
Oh, they didn't have a draft that year?
for that year. So everybody born in 1958 never got drafted. But then, like the next year, I think 1960, they had a draft.
Right.
You wasn't forced to go.
Yeah. So I just didn't want to volunteer, but I did get an offer from the Naval Academy to attend as a gymnast. So I could have been an officer in the Navy.
Right.
But, once the UCLA showed up, it's like, hey, I'm going to UCLA, man.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
was, man.
that was amazing.
I'm still looking for you.
Yeah. So anyway, this place needs to be rebooted. Okay, that's Pirate. Hey, Pirate.
Oh, there go.
How you doing, Pirate?
Fella.
You okay? You're a good girl.
You like cats,
good
like,
girl.
or they just came because you're feeding them.
Well, during COVID, I was lonely, and there's always feral cats. So she's a feral cat. I befriended her, and next thing I know, I had like 5 cats. One time I had up to 11 cats. You going? Let her go. She's gonna go. So anyway, this is where she know how to open the door.
Oh, y'all gonna watch?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me. There you go. She didn't really come in that often. So, just to show you some of the things, like I said, I have a kiln. So what I wanted to show you, I wish I was better organized. But these are some of This is a piece that I've done that I haven't glazed. I mean, I haven't grouted yet.
Oh wow.
So I love this face. It's one of the first pieces I made completely here, where I fired it. You know, I fabricated it, fired it on my kiln. This is another face I did, which
Wow, man.
this one has been bisque, so that's why you hear the ring. And it's just ready to glaze, and then I pop it back in the oven or in the kiln. And then look at these little stash boxes I made.
Oh wow, look at that.
Now here's another one. So I work at the Watts Towers as an artist in residence. So I don't have as much time to do art as I would like to. But a lot of artists that are older than me have looked out for me and are, teaching me. Like, for instance, Melvino Goretti is one of my teachers or mentors. And so this is sort of in his style. This is a art that I made.
Hold on, this was your teacher's style?
That's kind of like what Melvino. He's telling me you got to mix them, man. Don't just put the glazes on there. Start mixing them. So what happened was, this was a broken heart. Put it in the kiln. Sometimes if it has a little air bubble, it'll explode, basically. So that's what happened. But I wanted to save this. So this is my heart.
Oh wow. I see that. Wow.
So it's a broken heart.
Yeah.
How do you mend a broken heart? I don't know what to
You
call
change it to a tub. You see that? That look like a tub. Right there.
Yeah, you change it to a tub.
Yeah, you wash it out.
Big booty girl in there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I'm also making these are called crutches. Back in the day, you would take something and you would do like.
Oh, okay. A little quick.
So
shooter.
I had one that had a strawberry on it. So I was like trying to revisit and make some. And once I get up about 100,
right.
I'm gonna go into business. Oh, here goes my strawberry right here. These are not fired yet, but that's what the glaze looks like before it's fired.
Oh, okay. I see that.
I'm just trying to think where I got some glaze so we can really look at. Oh no, that's for my cones. That's my cones.
Is this glazed though, right?
Yeah, that's when it's fired. Okay, not those. I'm trying to find some glaze.
Did they put your name on the art?
Sometimes I don't put my name on it because I don't think it's finished yet, but it's real important. So my name is right here. You see? I made it look like a man. He kind of looked like a butler.
I see that. Yeah.
So I'm just going to show you what glaze looks like in the liquid form. So this is the same lime green. Let's put some right there. Oh, let's shake it. Shake it.
Okay.
We got another lime green. Just to show you, it just looks like mud. That's glaze. And what is glaze? I know you want to know. Glaze is actually glass.
So that's liquid glass.
Liquid opaque glass. So this is glass. Everything you see shiny, that's the glaze, and the glaze is basically glass. And what is glass? Glass is made out of sand because sand is mainly made out of quartz. So when you're looking at glass, so quartz comes from volcanoes. It's a pure type of glass, I guess.
Wow.
But that's basically what they do. They get that furnace, they shovel sand into it, it melts down, and then it becomes glass. So working with stained glass, working with ceramics, and starting to understand the whole phenomenon. So like here's a piece of tile, and you see, this is all the clay body, all of the white. The glass is on top, and look at how thin it is.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's glass. That's why nothing can adhere to this. So you can draw on this or whatever, it just wipe right off.
Wow.
So mosaics have, lifespans of hundreds of years, depending on what it's on. Like this, the wood is going to disintegrate before the tile pieces. But they've opened up tombs in Egypt where they find, ceramics in there, and it just looks as fresh as the day it was made. This thing can last thousands of years.
So question, man.
Yes.
Question, man. When people see Carlos Spivey on some art, as the artist, what do you want people to think? Like, how does that process work for you?
I mean, sometimes I get commissions or people want me to do certain things, and
All day long, man. You've done a lot in your lifespan.
well, thank you, man. I'm trying.
And as I sit here and look at these pictures, I do see that. I see joy. I see hope. I see, I see everything that you're talking about, man. That picture in the water look fire, man.
Oh yeah, I'll show you this picture. It's a baptism.
Okay.
And this is heavenly memory of Raisha Wilcox, my fiance. One day I want to do a show. I devoted the year that she passed. I just did art of her. I did about 20 original pieces. I'll show you a couple of them later.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a bronze now with Charles Dixon of Full Body, and I want to do a show that has these different mediums in it. I've done quilts of her, I've done mosaics of her, I've done stained glass of her, and I had a lot of pictures I did while she was alive, and then I did a lot of pictures after she passed away.
Yeah.
And so that's who this is.
Wow.
Yeah, but this picture here, it also, you have 3 crosses in astrology, you have 3 crosses in Christianity. So if you notice, it's just 3 hands. So this is, for me, this is God. This is either God's hand or it's his hand. But it's really both of them's hand.
Right.
So that's what I was trying to show. And then this is from the scuba diving. This is how the fish look at you when they see you in the water.
Man.
Like, you see how this one, I don't know if you can see him.
Right.
And that one, they're like, what? What in Tar? Oh, I shouldn't say Tar Nation. But,
yo, that's dope, man. Yeah, man, brother Carlos, the mind.
So I got so much art that sometimes I feel guilty about making more art because it's like you got to keep all your art till you sell it.
Yeah.
And so part of being an artist, I think we all kind of start out more like quote unquote as bohemians, as rebels.
Right.
But as we get older, we want to make some money. So a lot of times the transition happens to the point where people kind of can sell out.
Right.
Basically. I was reading a book and they're talking about how Picasso, when he first started out, he was a rebel, probably like living in abandoned buildings and stuff and painting and just doing it anti-establishment, talking about the bourgeoisie in like a negative connotation.
Right.
But they said later on in his life, he got famous, he got rich. He started wearing these fine suits where he have his name embroidered inside, a red lining with a black coat.
Yeah.
And some of his friends was like, man, you done sold out. You done did this and that. And I think I see that a lot with artists, but we don't think of it like that. It's like, well, I don't want to be a starving artist.
Right.
And I'll tell you another thing that artists like to do. Like when I first started out, I wanted to wear clothes with paint on them. So people would know I'm an artist, So sometimes you'd be painting and you just be like, put some paint.
Don't tell me when you
put some more paint on. You put it on purpose to make it look like you messed up. But I'm the kind of artist, if I'm painting and I get some paint on me, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go in the house, I'm gonna wash it out my pants. Cause it's like I'm a real artist. I don't want you to just be like, because I used to do that, because then you go up to people, they're like, you must be an artist. Because you got paint on everything. I want my art to speak, but you also want your art to stand on its own 2 feet.
Yeah.
You want your art to work whether you're associated with it or not. And so when you hear a good song, of good stuff, I found that album. Did you see that Bob Marley movie?
No, I didn't see the new movie. I went to the museum though.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually got the album that inspired him to do that album, Exodus.
Oh, right.
Is it dun 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 dun? I'm going through these old albums over here. My mom, I inherited them,
Right.
and I got the album, man, and it don't have no scratches on it. It ain't got no scratches, man.
Yeah.
And if I would have known, I would have picked it out because I'd be here for like 50 years trying to find it. But just the cover,
I know. Man.
I know it's up here because I had consolidated some stuff recently.
Look at her right there, man. Look at her, just looking at us.
Oh, yeah.
Black girl joy right there. Black girl magic right there. Just looking at you.
Well, we ain't gonna find it today. I'm pretty much one I did of her and me.
Wow.
And she was like, "Thank you, baby."
Man.
So I really miss her.
Yeah.
But she was like my manager. So she helped me to bring my prices up, which I really respect her for that.
Yeah.
So
What's this?
that's my son.
Right.
That's Omar. So he be checking, he's like, I'm just checking, making sure everything's okay.
right. Just checking. That's all.
Yeah. So I got so many paintings. These are sometimes you do paintings and it's still a work in progress. So that's another one of the leaping.
Yeah.
And I will finish it one day.
Man.
But it seems like you always got more. Oh, that's where she is.
Yeah. Auntie. You got Auntie back there. Auntie back there watching the kids drinking a 40.
Yeah. Yeah, I call it an ignorance series that I do.
Ignorant series.
Yeah, well, it's just crazy, ignorant stuff.
So, Brother Carl, listen, man, he gonna do this all day because this is what he do, man. We appreciate what he does for the community and for us and for himself. Because like he said, this is therapy for him, man. So people who are out there going through things, looking for an outlet, reach inside yourself and find something that's worth sharing with the world. So Brother Carlos, man, where can we find you, man? Man, I love you, man.
The Spivey Studio, we do mosaic workshops. We can do quilting workshops. We do paint and sips. I do some commissions contingent on what it's to do. I ain't gonna do a picture of so-and-so or whatever. I just ain't gonna do it. I don't care how much money you pay me. It's like, so I'm like that. But you saw my backyard. It's a nice place to come. We can do it out here or we can do it at another location.
Yeah.
And I have a pretty high success rate with my workshops. Try to make sure everybody gets a good result.
Yeah.
Meaning like if it's from 5 to 7, but there's somebody it's 7 o'clock and they ain't finished, I'm staying till they finish. Until they feel good about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's 7. Yep.
Nah,
Don't do that.
Nah. And don't forget, man. Don't forget, he is having a new. He's working on an adult coloring book.
Yeah.
So at the Lion Buttaz Marketplace, man, you already know Brother Carlos has a lot of stuff that's out there with us. He supports us, and he gives us a lot of support as well.
So do you want me to give you a little glimpse at the adult coloring book, the cover?
I mean,
Well, I got a proof.
you got a proof of the cover?
I got a proof.
All right, man. Look. All right, yeah, we gonna get that, but we appreciate it. I'm gonna check it out. We ain't gonna show them.
Oh, yeah, we're not gonna show it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me check it out. You know what I mean? So be on the lookout for the class too, man, because brother Carlos does a lot of great work, man, and he's willing to share. So look out, Lion Buttaz Marketplace, lionbuttaz.com. Carlos Spivey.
Thank you.
We out. Peace.
All right.